What up, Dokkanners? The JP data download that dropped last night has brought with it some very interesting conversations. So in today's video, we're going to be touching on two of those topics. Number one, we're going to talk about why people are now thinking that GT is going to be the theme of one of the upcoming major celebrations. And number two, we will be talking about the free-to-play LR Bardock. That is the confirmed new free-to-play character that has emerged on JP's Area 35 quest stage. So let's just jump in here. We're going to start with the GT talks. We'll save the Bardock for later. The GT conversation, why is this a thing? For those of you who are not in the know, there has been some rumblings and mumblings about a GT theme potentially coming up. There was one thing that was posted back during May. I never really touched on this in a video. I did mention this occasionally, I think, during live streams, but I never really went into further detail on it. But now that we've had a second clue that kind of further supports that, I do think it's worth mentioning. Plus, people are talking about it. So this character's ID was changed. Super Saiyan 3 GT Goku, the Golden Grade 8 character, you know, the guy released back in 2016 on Global. Actually, when did he drop on JP? Let me see. JP 2016. So this character has been around for 8 years. This character received an update. Now, normally, when it comes to database updates, you know, data downloads and whatnot, along with the new characters, the new events, the new assets that they would drop into the game, they will occasionally update older characters. Sometimes they've updated super attack animation scripts, which usually indicates an EZA. Sometimes characters will get the most minute of adjustments, like a pixel update. I think one time, Videl from Broly's Second Coming received the smallest adjustment on her like pixel design or something, and it didn't amount to anything at that point. I don't believe. I might be wrong there, but the point is, they do that. They will occasionally update characters. So on its own, I don't think that this is very significant, but when you combine this with something else, this does definitely stir the conversation more so in favor of a GT theme coming up. So what exactly happened with this character? The character ID was changed for this existing card. Shout out to Proton. For anyone wondering, he went from character ID 332 to 741. Those numbers are insignificant. They don't have any meaning. They were just updated. Super Saiyan 3 Goku GT to Super Saiyan 3 Goku GT. The difference is that ID 741 has a tail and ID 332 does not. So he now uses tail battle sprites. What does that mean? It could be something as simple as, hey, you know what? This character deserves an update. Let's go ahead and fix that. Let's give him a tail. He turns into a golden grade 8, so he should have a tail. All right, bet. Let's fix it. Boom. That's it. Or it could be that this character is potentially going to be receiving an EZA sometime soon, and before they even work on the script assets, they simply wanted to fix the sprite. Or it could be that potentially a Super Saiyan 3 GT Goku Dokkan Festival is coming up down the road, and they're laying the framework for that character by making sure that all other assets that are similar are all taken care of and are functioning properly. There could be any number of reasons why this character is receiving this sprite update, but none of which amount to anything tangible yet. But that is still worth noting, right? So people are thinking, oh, you know what? There could be a celebration with maybe Super Saiyan 3 Goku GT turning into Super Saiyan 4, which would be amazing. I would love to see that. Nothing would make me happier than to see Goku ascend to Super Saiyan 4. That is my favorite form. So I am all for that. The reason why this has now gained so much traction is because of this as well. Back during May, our vigilant data miner Rick dropped this little number. So with version 5.17.0, January on JP, they updated the scrolling text on this screen. Black Smoke Shenron's Dragon Balls used during the 4th anniversary. First of all, how anybody was able to notice this is insane. I don't know how he actually picked up on that. Maybe there was some like data irregularity that he noticed, but yeah, this is insane. Shout out Rick. Apparently, this only said select menu during the 4th anniversary. So he said the scrolling text on the screen. So I'm assuming he's talking about this. So tap a Dragon Ball you haven't obtained yet for a hint on its location. So you cannot tap on the Dragon Ball for any sort of hint. There is no hint, but the fact that the scrolling text was changed could be significant. Could this mean that one of the major celebrations for TANABATA or worldwide is GT themed? It's possible. And I think that that's where the conversation ends. I don't think anything else has emerged since then that has given any more credence to that theory. But I do think that it is significant because when it comes to major celebrations, worldwide downloads, anniversaries, TANABATA celebrations, for example, those types of celebrations do utilize the Dragon Balls occasionally. Not all the time, but occasionally. I don't think that there's been any other celebration besides those 3 marquee celebrations that have used it But even if there were, it's only the big time ones with major themes involved that would use it. So could there potentially be a GT themed celebration coming up on something major? Yes. Could it be Tanabata? It's possible. Last year's LR was the Tanabata Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Tanabata for JP, thank you celebration for Global. It was the Super Saiyan 4 full power Goku. So it could happen again where this year as well, the Tanabata celebration is also GT themed. Or more realistically, maybe worldwide download is GT themed. Now, I have not really been wanting to subscribe to that theory because you guys have heard me ramble on about how I think that the convergence, the merging of the two worlds, Global and JP, would make for a very poetic theme of universe survival, universe conflict for the worldwide download. I still want that to be a thing, but if I were to be honest and objective here, I do think that GT happening for worldwide this year, as opposed to having back-to-back Tanabata GT themes, makes a lot of sense. So this could very well end up being a thing. So, you know, feel free to chime in the comments down below. Let me know what you think a possible dual Dokkan Festival, dual Carnival lineup could be for GT. Super Saiyan 3 GT Goku plus Baby would be amazing. Baby deserves a Dokkan Festival. What could the part 2, you know, like if we do, for part 1, we do a Dokkan Festival Super Saiyan 3 and a Carnival. Do we want a Carnival Baby? No, I want Baby to be a Dokkan Festival. So we'll say Super Saiyan 3 Goku GT Dokkan Festival, and then we'll say a Majub Carnival LR, a Majub straight up. And then maybe for the part 2, the Dokkan Festival would be, you know, Dokkan Festival Baby, and then the Carnival LR could be, I mean, you know Dokkan is like superhero centric. That's why I put double heroes there. What would another cool LR be? I don't know. Rildo. Carnival Rildo. Sure. You know, it could be something like that. So let me know what you guys think. So that's it for the GT conversation. Now let's discuss the Bardock. So this is my first time seeing the Bardock. So let me actually just take a look at the character's build. Time Traveler's 30%, raises attack, raises defense for 1 turn, causes huge supreme damage. Attack and defense plus 80%. Superclass allies attack and defense plus 20%. When there's a Wicked Bloodline category enemy, gain an additional attack plus 80%. Medium chance to crit. If all allies attacking in the same turn are superclass, launch an additional attack that has a medium chance of becoming a super. When super attack is launched, attack and defense plus 40%. Okay, so that is the base SSR traits. Of course, the character will be much better when it becomes an LR. We know it's going to be an LR because of the hidden potential. When there's 5,000 points that can be allocated to the hidden potential grid, we know that the character is going to be an LR. So that is not even in question. What is in question is what the LR is going to look like. So when you look at the categories here, this is very telling because this gives us a lot of clues. When it comes to categories and, you know, looking at what a character is potentially going to look like, always remember, categories cannot be removed, but they can be added. Actually, you know what? Perfect example would be the LR Trunks. The previous quest mode LR was Trunks and Broly. Obviously, looking at it now, these categories make sense. However, at the SSR level, people were wondering what this character is going to look like because the only category involved was Time Travelers. So when you see this, this actually gives you a lot of clues. Time Travelers alone means that this character is fated to not be just a Trunks, because if he were, then there would also be Vegeta's family, Hybrid Saiyans, and any other categories that would depict a typical Hybrid Saiyan character like Trunks. But because those aren't there, we knew that maybe a pure Saiyan character would be joining the fray. Maybe an Earthling, maybe the protagonist. I mean, I remember all the theories. There was Trunks and Shallot, Trunks and Goku, Trunks and the protagonist, Trunks and Paragus. There were all sorts of crazy ideas, right? And then when we saw the Dokkan Awakening, our theories were realized or confirmed that it was going to be a joint forces with somebody else. At this point, it wasn't clear cut that it was just going to be Trunks and Broly, because with Time Travelers and Super Saiyans, it could be any other Saiyan character that could go Super Saiyan that just so happens to be a time traveler, because Broly normally is not a time traveler, but in the context of quest mode, this Broly is. If you guys have read through quest mode, or if you guys have followed the J-Fantasy series on quest mode, then maybe you know a little bit more about this stuff. But with all that being said, given how wacky and weird quest mode actually is with alternate realities and time travel shenanigans and whatnot, I think that the conversation is worth mentioning that Bardock could very well not just be a Super Saiyan Bardock, which is probably what most of you are thinking. Time Traveler Bardock does scream Super Saiyan, but then again, Broly is not a time traveler normally. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a Super Saiyan Bardock, but this Bardock is going to be a time traveler one. Who else could be involved? I think looking at all of this, it would just be a Bardock character in terms of the naming. But when you factor in Beast Gohan, this kind of opens things up. Beast Gohan, when was first introduced during the 9th anniversary reveal, I remember I was happy, I was sad, and then I was happy again. I was happy because, yay, Beast Gohan. I was sad because, oh man, Piccolo butchers the categories. But then I was happy when I realized it doesn't actually impact the naming whatsoever. Piccolo is involved in the art, but he does not go any further than that. It doesn't butcher the categories whatsoever. Another example, LR Hachiak Super Saiyan Goku. You see Piccolo in there, you see Gohan, you see Vegeta, you see Trunks, but none of those characters impact the categories. That Super Saiyan Goku is still Goku's family, pure Saiyans and whatnot. So likewise here, Gohan is a Goku's family character, hybrid Saiyan, siblings bond. Piccolo being in the actual name would not allow for that. So my point is, I think that this character could be a cool what if scenario where it is Super Saiyan Bardock with Goku, maybe with Gohan Goten, based on nothing at all, but I'm just throwing that out there. Goku is a low-class warrior to an extent, but it's very selective which ones. I mean, the furthest that you go is Saiyan Saga. There is nothing past that, right? So I don't think Goku being in the name would work because revenge, timeless, or storied figure, Goku is not a storied figure. So it would just have to be in the character's art itself. So me personally, I would love to see a Goku, like a family Kamehameha, you know, but every generation. I think that would be fantastic. We saw this recently in Dragon Ball Heroes. We saw Super Saiyan 4 Bardock, Super Saiyan 2 one-armed Gohan, and was it Ultra Instinct Goku during Heroes? It was really, really cool. So I hope that we could get something like that for this. But let me know in the comments what sort of theories you guys have for what this LR could look like. Every theory is valid right now because we have no further clues. This character will Dokkan Awaken, and by the time he does, I think both versions will probably be around the same page, considering that JP just got it right here. Global is going to be getting the character before the worldwide download celebration. So I think once we hit worldwide download, I think both versions will probably get the same Dokkan Awakening. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like down below. Let me know in the comments your thoughts and theories regarding the GT themed for TANABATA or worldwide download. If you think one of those is possible, let me know which one and what sort of headline, dual Dokkan Festival, dual Carnival Fest, whatever, would you like to see? And then for the Bardock, what potential LR do you think could happen for that character? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more Dokkan content in the future and click the notification bell so that you literally know you're going to see more of my stuff. Do it. Thanks again. Stay tuned. And remember to Dokkan responsibly.